Happy to have Dr. Steve Ballard, the Chancellor of ECU, in the studio with us. And also Dr. Rick Niswander, who is the, what is your title? You're Vice Chancellor of Chief Financial Officer and Bottle Washer and what else?
There you
We're
go.
figuring that out.
What's your official title? I never have
Vice
known.
Chancellor of Administration and Finance.
There you go. I knew that.
For
Good morning,
whatever that is.
gentlemen.
Good
How
morning.
are you?
Good to see you, Henry.
Chancellor, good to
Thanks
have
for
you in the
having us.
studio. Yeah,
Appreciate it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
How are things going?
Really good.
Yeah.
A lot of growth. Record enrollments. Things are good at ECU.
I don't think I've had you on since your announcement that you're going to retire at the end of the school
Got
year.
my feelings hurt.
No, whoa. I have asked. You can ask your staff. I have asked.
Okay, I'll check that
That is
out.
not true.
Well,
Yeah.
I got to say that I can't believe you didn't know who Left Shark was. Seriously,
I can't believe
Henry.
you did know. In fact, I don't believe that he really did. I think you just busted my chop. But this will be you're kind of in the short rows at this point. You're going to be here
About 5
through-
months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've done a great job as our chancellor at ECU. Why now? Why did you decide to step down at this point?
It's a good question. You know, guys like me always have a long to-do list, so you never really know what the right time is, and it's kind of like a 42-year-old fighter that thinks he can win one more, you know. But,
Peyton Manning?
Yeah, guys like that.
He did win.
Yeah, well, my passes kind of float out there like that, but I just thought it was the right time. Feel really good. Wouldn't trade the 12 years for anything. We have some family issues that we want to deal with. Got a brand new granddaughter in California, so 12 years of 24/7, 365. It's you know, you shouldn't do it forever. I don't think. I think you should decide when you've accomplished basically what you have and what you've established for the university, and we feel really good about that. So it was just good timing on all kinds of
Good
fronts.
news is you're staying in the state. You're staying in
Right.
Greenville. You're going to stay here and be on the faculty.
Right.
Yeah.
Summer of 2017, I'll go back to the BB&T Leadership Center and want to do a lot of things with undergraduates on leadership development.
All right, great. Well, it's you know, thank you for all that you've done for East Carolina and our university. You've done a great job.
Thank you.
Let's talk about topic A this morning, which is the bond referendum, which is coming up on the March 15th ballot. And you know, we're very excited about the fact that ECU and Pitt County, and really the eastern part of the state, is going to benefit greatly from this, Rick. East Carolina is, you know, we've got so many good things going, but the truth is we're kind of behind. We're light years behind in some of the technology we need. It changes so fast. And you know, it's all about creating jobs and getting kids ready to go out and take jobs in the new economy, and that's what this $90 million that's going to go to ECU if this bond passes is going to do, right?
Absolutely. It's for a biotech building. The one area where we really need some help is in the sciences, biology, medical device with engineering. It's going to build about 150,000 square foot building, give us some sorely needed labs. Our lab space, we use our lab space from 8 in the morning to 9:30 at night, 90% full, 7,000 students go through it, and it's in a building that was built in the mid-60s. In the mid-60s, biology and technology was totally different than it is today. Just think of anybody who's in any kind of business. You think back 50 years as to how you did what you did, and it is vastly different. It's no different in education. We're preparing students with jobs in science, technology, engineering, math, arts, and those folks get jobs. And those folks get high-paying jobs, and they're the drivers of the economy going forward.
And enrollments increased 300% since Howell Science Building was completed. So it's not only, it's both the growth of enrollment that you have to respond to, but it's what the kids are studying and what they need to get a job for the future.
Right. It's a new world, and if the university doesn't evolve with the economy, we're going to get left behind. That's for sure. So this thing's vitally important. If this building, if this passes, this will be a brand new building on campus, Chancellor?
Right, brand new building, 150,000 square feet. I think it's fair to say we're not quite sure. There are 2 or 3 really good locations. There's an argument for making it in the middle of campus because so many students have to have these labs, but there's also an argument for helping it be a jumpstart for a millennial campus, so maybe close to the 10th Street connector at the beginning of campus. So that will take a little bit of time, maybe next fall, before we know that for sure.
Right.
Yeah, I had not heard that before, but the Millennial Campus is something that was passed last year. And Rick, for people who don't really know what that's all about, explain what that will do for the economy and the region.
A Millennial Campus allows you to more easily connect with the business community and the area, the economic development community. That's really the fundamental piece of it. Universities do lots of wonderful things, but so often it's difficult to connect the business side and the university together, and Millennial Campus allows us to do that. It's a very long-range project. It's similar in concept to the Centennial Campus at NC State. They've been doing that for 30, 35 years. They didn't even build their first building for 13 years. So it's going to take a long time to finish it off, so to speak, but you just kind of plod away at it, a building at a time, a project at a time, a connection at a time.
And Chancellor, when you say the idea has been floated to build this new building near the Millennial Campus, where exactly will that be?
Well, we have 4 locations of the Millennial Campus. One is out on the Health Science Campus. I don't think we'll put this out on the Health Sciences, but the Warehouse District is one area. The Willis area building is another. So
when you say warehouse, you mean like Dickinson Avenue area?
Right, in that area.
Yeah.
So
10th Street.
Just west of downtown in that area might be a really good location. It would be more accessible because that building will have lots of industry partnerships. The Advanced Manufacturing Center for Pharmaceuticals will be there. So you want easy access to it. And so that might be a perfect location.
You know, that's I did not know that, but I think that's an awesome idea. I vote for that. Because, you know, can you imagine?
It's me and you so far.
Yeah, since you would be against the Rick. We may
No. I like that spot.
But, well, you know, the thing about it is when you consider the fact, you know, you think about that area of Greenville and what's happening there right now, and the need for urban renewal in that area. I mean, what an incredible when the 10th Street connector is, and now we're beginning to see they're beginning to build the 10th Street connector. You can kind of envision that area of Greenville kind of being the hot new area, which it's been the worst part of town now for the last 30, 40 years.
And what a huge benefit that would be to Greenville is to turn that completely around. It won't happen overnight, but look on 10 or 15 years, and that's exactly what could happen.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. And Rick, it would be an asset also. No matter where you build it, it's going to be an asset into recruiting new industry into Greenville.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're doing a lot more of those, as I said, connections between industry and the university. We have up in the old, can't remember, the Overtons, the old Overtons market.
Right.
We have a MakerBot, an innovation lab that's a place where we connect our students and high school students with local businesses.
Yeah.
It's just a great opportunity for us all. The future is just amazing.
Dr. Steve Ballard, Chancellor at ECU, Dr. Rick Niswander, the Vice Chancellor for Administration and Finance.
Good.
How'd I do?
Good.
I just always call him the CFO because that's what he is, right? He's the Chief Financial.
I call him money bags.
Yeah. if you want money, you got to do it, Rick.
Right. The bag's getting lighter.
You know, again, to kind of reconnect to this whole bond idea, when I hear you talk about what could happen with this new building that's going to be built if the bond passes, you're not looking at this as just an opportunity to create more space for students to go to class. You're going to use this to boost the economy of Eastern North Carolina, which is what excites me about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what biotechnology and the life sciences are all about. We've made a commitment to work with industry to increase life science jobs by 27% over the next 5 to 10 years.
Right.
But you can't do that without this kind of capacity. And if I might just say another word, it's more than just Greenville and Pitt County. Now, Pitt County would get $98 million when you add our building and what Pitt Community College would get.
Yeah.
But $300 million would go to the eastern 29 counties and $145 million just to the northeastern counties, which are really struggling economically. And in the Northeast, 5 community colleges would get support from this bond. So this is, as the morning editorial said, this is about agriculture, it's about all of higher education, it's about water projects and other infrastructure. And the East desperately needs it. We have no counties in the eastern 29 counties that are even close to the statewide salary average. None. Zero.
Yeah.
We need to jumpstart the eastern region. It's critical to the state.
Yep. Thank goodness there's an effort underway to do that, and that's very exciting. I did read Lawrence Davenport, our friend Lawrence Davenport, who from Pitt County wrote a great letter to the editor this morning and talked about the agriculture components of this. I mean, this is not just somebody might say, well, why are we going to spend more money on university campuses? This is about jobs. This is about creating jobs, not only through money for projects for the university system, but community colleges, agriculture, clean water, the whole deal. So, Rick, this is vitally important for people to support this.
I absolutely agree. This is one of the most important votes that people in North Carolina can make.
Yeah.
Because it really is a vote about the future of the state.
Yeah. Very good. Let's talk about some other things.
All right.
How's enrollment? We had enrollment across the state of North Carolina has not skyrocketed the last 5 to 7 years, but here it's been pretty good, hasn't it?
Very good enrollment. We set an all-time record for FTEs at a little over 28,000, 28,200.
For people who don't know what an FTE is, so you're using those full-time equivalents.
That may be head count, not FTE.
It's like the left shark, right?
Yeah, I think that's total bodies. That's different
that's
than
total bodies,
head count. There's different ways to look at it.
So what was the number again?
28,200.
Yeah.
We have an enrollment management task force that established a goal of 30,000 students by about 2020, I believe, if I remember that correctly. And we're doing that in lots of different ways. Our freshman class this year was the second largest ever, but the key way is we're working with community colleges, especially Pitt, and President Massey there has just been great to get more of the Pitt Community College students transferring after their associate degree to ECU. They do very well. They graduate when they come to ECU. It's good for us. So we're working hard on that, and so far it's been very successful.
When you look at kind of where East Carolina is in the scope of things, I know that a lot of the universities across the state have actually had declining enrollment. So there's been a lot of concern about that. But East Carolina continues to chug along, and we've done pretty well through the recession, have we not,
Yes,
Rick?
yes, we have. We had a period of about 4 or 5 years where we purposefully didn't grow. But then in the last couple years, we've added about 2,000 students. And we'll probably add 2-3% a year. Steady growth, nothing big or wild. You got to be able to serve the students when they come in, not only in the classroom, but all the support activities are associated with students from libraries to counseling and all across the board. But we're prepared for it. As the Chancellor said, we have an enrollment task force that's looking at those things and making sure that we're having the right kind of growth and the right speed of growth.
And we know that freshman students are making choices now based upon academic quality and what a degree from an institution will do for them. They're not coming in with just a carte blanche and saying, I have no clue what I might study. They're coming in knowing they want to be in engineering or nursing or allied health or dentistry. And that gets right back to the biotech building. You can't attract those students without the capacity to serve them. We have 17,000 students per year taking biology.
I guess if there's a negative, I hate to throw out a negative, but if there's a negative right now, it's that we're not, the demand for education for students that want to go into teaching is way down. I know that's got to be of concern to you. This was a teachers' college when it was formed, and of course it's now a thriving research university. But looking at kind of the mission. There's a void there that's creating some issues for the whole state. Yeah,
we're very concerned about it. The largest drop we've had in graduate enrollments have been in the teacher preparation side. We're still very good in teacher preparation. For example, we're one of 3 universities nationwide asked to look comprehensively at how we educate tomorrow's teachers, because we know it'll be different than when I was in college, or let alone when you were in college.
Which was a long time after you were in college.
I knew I was getting in trouble there. So we're very concerned about that. We wish that teachers believed that they were better supported in this state. I think we have to pay teachers better. It'll be a long-term crisis if we don't get the really great teachers, people like Ron Clark, who came out of ECU and was National Teacher of the Year. That's exactly the kind of person that we want in teacher preparation. But since 2010, the number, even thinking about that, has gone steadily down.
Yeah. I guess the good thing is there is a demand for nursing, Rick, and we just had the community colleges decide that they are not going to offer 4-year nursing degrees, which I thought was a horrible idea. But it was a very close vote, 11-7. So East Carolina, kind of being the leader in the state in graduating nurses, are we going to grow in nursing?
We are the leader in the state in graduating nurses and have been for many years. Our Masters of Nursing program has 800 students in it. Virtually every one of them get a job immediately upon graduation. That's one of the best parts about it. And it's a job that pays well, and it's a stable job. Our challenge in nursing is the facilities that we have, being able to add more students to the rooms, and we're reaching our maximum point. But the other challenge is they all have to go out and do like an internship,
right.
a preceptorship,
yeah, right.
and those are very difficult to get anymore. The expansion capability of our nursing program is limited by the preceptorships as much as anything else.
Yeah.
But we're paying a lot of attention to it because it is a great degree.
Chancellor Steve Ballard from ECU and Dr. Rick Niswander here in the studio with us. The campus is about to go through another transition. It's going to look a lot different. You're already beginning to see the construction start to take place on 10th Street. And talk about what's about to come out of the ground there, Chancellor, because that's a very exciting project.
Yeah, we have 2 new student centers that will be state-of-the-art, and they're just vital these days for student organizations and for a place for students to study and congregate and just feel like this is their home. Especially for commuter students, and we have quite a few commuter students.
So to tell you how badly we needed it, Mendenhall Student Center opened when I was at ECU. Okay, okay, I'm wide open for another comment.
No. You've said what needs to be said.
Yeah, I think it opened around 1974, 75, something like that.
And we had something like 15 or 18 student groups then, and now we have over 400. That just gives you one example. And that's one of the reasons why the students agreed to largely pay for this, not entirely, but they're through their tuition and fees are paying for a good bit of the debt service on this. So it'll be a state-of-the-art facility. It will completely change the southern side of the campus, especially the 10th Street side. Yeah. And it's going to be huge. And on the western, on the health science campus, we've never even had a student center. So the student center out there that will actually be finished first will be a great help to the health sciences.
And that's another thing we hadn't talked about is all the health sciences. Dr. Niswander, the medical school, the nursing school, the dental school, now totally in another part of town on the health sciences campus, or what we used to call the West Campus over there next to the hospital. And how many students go to class there every day and don't have a student center?
We have about 3,500 students out there.
Yeah.
And one of the challenges out there is, unlike East Campus, where students kind of mix and mingle throughout all the classes, out there students tend to go into their own building. They go to the nursing area. They go to Allied Health. They go to Brody. The student center is going to be a way to help those students mix and mingle. So not only have a place to gather, and meet other students across other disciplines, but have some recreation facilities out there, have some places to get a snack out there, hopefully a healthy snack out there. But it's come out of the ground, and if you haven't been by there, take a look. It's starting to take shape, and we even have a webcam that you can look at what the construction
I drove by there the other day. Man, that's really it's beginning to happen. You see cranes and dirt moving, and
we're only about a year away, I think, aren't we?
Exciting stuff.
Yeah, a little bit
Exciting
more than
stuff.
a year.
Dr. Ballard, we've talked about just about everything, I think, but athletics.
Okay.
It's big changes in the football program. Scotty Montgomery takes over as the head coach. East Carolina, not exactly a banner year this past year, and of course, I know that it is one of our goals to be the leader in the American Conference. So talk a little bit about where you think we are in athletics.
Well, we're in a very competitive conference, and we have schools in our conference that spend twice as much money as we do. So we know that we've got a lot of work to do on that, and in all of our revenue sports, which are now both basketballs, baseball, and football, we want to compete for championships there. I think that's
why. Do we consider baseball a revenue sport now?
Well, it's not only a revenue sport; it is the athletic sport.
Says the former shortstop.
Yeah, spoken like a shortstop that went to the World Series.
So if you just look at the fans, we have in many years gotten out to Clark LeClaire, and if you look at the money spent on that and the competition for those great athletes, yeah, it has a chance to be a revenue sport, especially when you get into the elite super regionals in Omaha. There's a lot of TV coverage though, so it may not be quite as big as football yet, but it is an emerging revenue sport, and we want to do well in that as we did last year.
You talk about the financial challenges. Give us a little comparison. East Carolina's budget versus schools like UConn, Cincinnati, Houston, that we're now expected. Our fans expect us to play against these teams and beat them.
Yeah, I've not seen the current year's expenditures, but my guess would be this: that we are going to spend about $38 million this year on athletics total budget, total expenditures. I suspect UConn is above $70 million this year as a flagship. They're probably quite a bit headed north of that. I know Houston and Cincinnati are getting close to that, and some of the Florida schools, by virtue of having over 50,000 students, are spending in the 50s and early 60s.
No
so,
kidding.
That every kid who comes in sees that translated into the facilities and the number of scholarships and the weight room and how good the baseball park is or the basketball training facility. So that every year, if you're losing ground on that, it can make a difference over time.
Yeah, and the TV money it's better now, right? The money that we're getting from ESPN is better than it was in Conference USA, but not. I mean, it's a smidge compared to what the other Power 5 conferences and the ACC schools get. How much do we get?
That's the perfect word, a smidge. Because there's an entrance fee, I think we're getting just a little over $2 million a year.
Right.
And so I'll have you handle more of that. But
so what's NC State getting? We're getting $2 million.
NC State's getting about $20 million.
Yeah.
The SEC schools are getting about $30 million.
Wow.
The Big Ten's at $29 million. So you're looking at 13, 14, 15 to 1 differential.
Yeah.
And just multiply that over 10 years. I've had people I know very well in the SEC tell me they don't know how to spend their TV money. They don't know how to spend it. Now, wait a minute.
Can they donate something?
Yeah, exactly.
Hang on here.
Exactly.
They don't know how to spend their TV money. Wow, that's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
All right. Anything that we didn't cover that either one of you want to mention about what's happening at ECU? This has been fun.
I'll just say I've met many of the football coaches, and Ruffin McNeil is a great person, a good friend of mine. Wouldn't say anything but positive things about Ruff, but everybody's impressed with Coach Mo and his family and his assistant coaches. I think he did a miracle in recruiting this year, so we have great optimism about how they're going to compete in the American Conference.
And let me say that I'm glad you didn't ask about parking. but the most important thing is that we are working right now for one of the halftimes in this coming year to bring the left shark on. Just so you know.
Halftime entertainment? Yeah. You guys will never let me live that one down.
No.
I still don't. I think you're both lying. I don't think either one of you knew what the left shark was either. All right. It's great to have you both.
Henry, thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
Again, I know you want to reiterate how important it is for people to support this bond coming up March 15th.
Please come out and vote. I think it's all about turnout at this point. It's not over the arguments of whether it's a good idea. It's whether the supporters will be there on March 15th. Please vote.
Yep. Thank you. Thanks to both of you.
Thank you, Henry.
Dr. Steve Ballard, Dr. Rick Niswander from ECU.